What is popping? Your boy Roger Really Cool here to talk about my 2 Warwick basses that I'm going to share with y'all. And I'm just getting into the Warwick bass line, so have patience with me because there'll be 100 other videos out there that's better than my video talking about this bass. But I'm just excited because I finally got it and finally picked up from my man Dan. So thanks to my man Dan for putting me down with this bass here, and the one back there, I put that for my man Ed, I think. And that's another Warwick bass. But this is called the Warwick thumb bass. Now, it's made with oven-coil wood, and the neck is made with oven-coil wood. We have some brass frets. We got stainless steel hardware here. We got active electronics. So you pull, push. If you pull it up, push it in, you got active electronics. Okay. MEC pickups, jazz pickups. As you can see, one is tilted here in the back to kind of bring the lower strings, which would be the D and the G, have them having more heft because the pickup is aimed more towards the neck. And then we have the back pickup going towards the bridge this way to have the E and the A a little less bass. And then when you blend them all, because you got blending here, you got this knob that blends. However way you want to blend. In the middle is both pickups. You put it right there in the middle of the indentation, they're both pickups. But if you kind of vary the way you want to vary it, you can get different sounds. As you can see, the person I bought it for obviously must have had a thing for having a thumb here or something. It's kind of weird. Like, how would you be playing that you would have this as a rub off? But it's cool. I can get over it. I'm going to get some wax on it and make sure it stays cool. The thing about this wood, along with the wood I have back here with Babinga, you got to keep it oiled. So I had to put a little something on it tonight until I can get me some wax on it. And it comes oiled, but then you got to keep some wax on it to keep the wood from drying out. Like I said, it's oven-coil wood, so you don't want the wood to dry out. But then your bass start messing up, start sounding jacked up. And that's the thing about a Warwick bass. There is all about the wood when it comes to Warwick basses. It's all about the wood. Regular basses, you might have basswood, you might have alder wood, you might have ash. Then you have your specialty basses that cost a lot more money, like these cost. Like this bass is a $2,500 bass. So it'll have a different type of wood, and that's where the value comes in. Because the wood may be a rare wood, maybe a wood you can't get anywhere. It might be wood that only you source, and that way you can just make sure nobody else has this wood on their bass. And if it sounds good, and you pick the right wood for the right bass, then you got it made. And that's what Warwick's been doing over the years. They've been sourcing the best woods to make their basses with. And this is a solid bass. It's pretty heavy too. I think somewhere around 9 pounds for this one. Those one's a little bit heavier because it's Babinga wood. And it's solid all the way through. There's no chambers or anything in there. And again, got the MEC, pickups. Oh yeah, cut that out. Edit. We don't do edits. MEC pickups, they call it JJ pickups. If you play Fender Jazzes, you know, they call them JJ because they're jazz pickups. I don't know why. Just because Fender calls something, like if they have P pickups, you have 2 small little pickups, they call them P pickups. Even though they're in another bass, they call them P pickups, mean precision. And these, because they're long bars, they call them jazz pickups. But they're not jazz pickups, they're just regular pickups. But anyway, you'll see these basses in different configurations depending on how much you pay. This bass is MEC pickups. You might see some basses with Nordstrom pickups or Nordstrom pickups and so on and so forth. Cost a little bit more. EMG, depending on how your configuration is. This is configured with the stock pickups that come with it, which is MEC pickups, which are really good pickups as well. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn everything all the way up. I'm going to half everything. The bass. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm ready to take a nap. Yeah, more than that, ready to go to sleep. And this is all the way up. So in the middle, we have both pickups, ya mean. And then in the back here, we just had a treble and a bass. These are concentric knobs. So there's a bass knob on the lower and a treble knob is on top. Not tone, but treble, because it's an EQ. All right. But if you pull this up, there is no EQ. This don't matter back here if you pull it up. That means it's just a simple passive bass. And there's purists who don't like to have active basses. They don't like the active electronics. They rather just have passive electronics with no amplification. Now I have a couple of basses that don't have. In fact, all 3 of my jazz basses don't have any amplification. There is no active preamp involved. But my Music Man, my Sterling Stingray with the roasted neck, that does have active electronics. But their basses also, I was thinking about getting another bass from this young man who's selling the bass. And I was thinking about getting his, and I said, where's the guitar? I was about to probably think about getting his bass, and it doesn't have active electronics, but it's red. And I really don't like the red color. It's a good wood though. It's an ash wood. It's a Warwick ash wood, but it's reddish, and it's just too red for me. So I don't think I'm gonna pass on that one. I'm gonna stick with these two because I think they can handle what I'm trying to do. If I get another Warwick, it's gonna be a 5-string Warwick. That's what I would get. But I have a 5-string over there. Jazz is pretty cool, and I got a 5-string Fullerton over there. People don't know about Fullertons that's over there, okay? So now let's get right to it. I had to talk to the whole thing through just to give y'all an idea of what I'm working with. So here, let's start volume all the way up. Everything's in the middle. We're going to put it in passive mode. I'm just going to play the same line real quick. Okay, now we're gonna put it to the neck pickup, which is so far back, but it's still a neck pickup because it's closer to the neck. And now this is the back pickup, the bridge pickup, because it's closer to the bridge. Okay, so now let's put it right in the middle again, and let's hit the active. So now we got more amplification. Now, I haven't checked this battery. It doesn't seem as though there's a lot more difference in the amplification. This is without the amplification. That's with it. So it's not getting louder when I push and pull this. So it could be that the battery is kind of low. It takes a 9-volt battery. And you see back in the back, it's easy to get to. All you can do is pull it out and the battery is there. By the way, this is a bolt on. There's 2 different variations of the thumb bass. There's a bolt on and then there's a neck through. That means it's an NT. That means the neck is housed inside of the body of the bass. It's called the NT. But this is a bolt on, so this is called the BO. So you got the thumb BO, which is this one, bolt on, and you got the thumb NT, which is neck through. That means the neck comes all the way in without bolts, okay? And this is your compartment right here. Now, I think the reason they call this a thumb bass because just like a thumb. Because the other one, you see when I grabbed the other one's going to be a little bit longer here. This is probably going to be around the same size. This hook going to be around the same size, but this is probably it's going to be longer on the Corvette bass. But right here is just like that. It's like a thumb. So what's the difference between the thumb and the what's called? I don't know. They're just 2 different basses. Mainly because the pickups configuration, the preamp is probably the same. They're the same pickups. There's different wood though. I wouldn't have bought this if it was Babinga wood, because I don't think there would have been much of a difference. But because this is Ovencal wood, I bought this one. So I got different woods, okay? Now, let's put in the EQ where we can turn the bass and treble up now. So that's when you kick the preamp in. When you push that bad boy in, now you got the active in, and now you can do your thing. Cool. Now turn the treble up. I mean, that's the bass. I'm gonna turn the treble up. The bass is too loud. All right, so you can hear that difference. Now I'm gonna have the treble up and I'm gonna turn the blend knob back to all we're hearing is the treble pickup. So you can hear that. You can hear that difference now. If I blend it in and I'm gonna take it all the way to the neck pickup now. See what I'm saying? So it's really different. Now, if I turn the tone down or the treble and turn the bass all the way up and then pick the back, the bridge pickup, the neck pickup, it's really gonna be dark. Now, if I use that, if I was going to set that up right there, I would use that for like the old time kind of joint. Hold on, I got to get this camera starting to fail and fall. Let me see if I can get it back up where you can see what's going on here, okay? All right, I would play like some Motown stuff like this. Yeah, because the interface is hooked up to the computer, so when the computer go to sleep, then that's what happens. It's cutting out. But we're not editing because we don't do edit. We're doing a live pre-recorded. So I'll make sure the computer don't cut off, and that way I know it's not going to sit here and do what it did just now. All right. So now, again, we're back at the. So that was all the bass all the way up, the treble all the way down, and we're using this pickup, the neck pickup. Now let's go to the bridge pickup and see what it sounds like with the bass turned up and like so. So it's pretty cool. It's just the different combinations. And then the thing about that is, not only do you get different combinations, like if you put this back in the middle, so it's even, the bass and the treble is even, and you got the blend knob right in the middle, which the volume's still up. As you turn the blend knob, you'll hear the difference. So that means the tone you can get is infinite to a certain level, because as you messing around with the bass and the treble back here, like a little bit of bass, more treble, or a little bit of treble, a little less bass, but then you're blending at the same time, a myriad of sounds can come out of here, no doubt. And that's the thing about having a blend knob. And when it comes to the studio business, they call it something else, but having a blend knob, I think they call it a New York something knob or a New York something, but it comes a blend knob. And when you can just blend how much pickup you want in, it's not like you just want to have just that one or both or just the one. When you had a blend knob, it's something totally different, and you can really take your bass or your guitar to another level by having a blend knob. Okay, so now we're going to come out of this bass right here. And I got the locking straps too, so he gave me the locking straps. He gave me a nice rock bass case. And yeah, I appreciate it, I really do. Now the other bass I got has a case too. I didn't buy it when I bought the bass, and I've been trying to negotiate with the seller, because it was kind of crazy because he sold me the bass. Actually, I call him Red. He sold me the bass. He sold to me for his brother. His brother's supposed to be in the military or somebody other. And he was going to sell me the bass for $740 with the case. But I ain't have all that kind of money. I had the 7, so I gave him the 7. And I said, I won't worry about the case. Just give me the bass, right? So he gave me the bass with no case. That's what I asked for, right? But now that I got a little extra money, I want the case. So he was like, well, how much you want to give me? I said, well, I'm going to give you the $40. I'm going to give you the $40 that we were going to do anyway. It was $740 with the case and everything. Now you're trying to tell me that now that I bought the bass for $7, you want to sell the case for $60, $70? I like, man, sometimes people just don't do right. And I figured, though, yo, man, I thought we was cool people. I said, look, I'm going to pay $40 for the case. That's how much you're going to charge me when I bought the bass. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. All right. But I ain't going to fault the cat. You know what I mean? We still cool. He sent me the tool I needed for the bass. I forgot to get the tool, so he sent me the tool. Now, here we have the Corvette 4. Okay. Now, this bass, no, I had a lock and strap. I got the tuner, but the lock and strap ain't going to work with with this bass. So it's cool because they got some good holders, some good strap holders. They're really nice whether you use just a regular strap, whether you use the locking strap, which came with that base right there. Now, as you can see, this is a little bit different base. This is the Corvette 4, okay, standard. And you can see this knob is a little bit more than that knob. That's a thumb. And the hook is a little bit longer too. This hook is longer than that. This is Babinga wood. And I had this wax, the Guitar Center by my man, the Mech in Cherry Hill, made sure he did this one for me. So you can see it's nice and shiny. He put a nice coat of wax on here. And I was looking for some wax for this one tonight, but I couldn't find any wax. I went to Home Depot, I went to Target. Nobody had the wax. So I'm gonna see if I can get some wax. So in the meantime, like I said, I put some lemon pledge on there and some just something to protect it so I can get the wax on there. But this is a different color, as you can see. Now the other one is really red. The other one I want is really red, and it's all passive. Like that one was an active passive. This is active passive, and this one you probably can tell the difference. And this is the same configuration as that one. Just somehow I lost. Now this battery, you know why the battery is dead in here? Let me tell you why the battery is dead. Just like any other particular electronics that you buy that has a battery like foot pedals and stuff, if you keep, and I done had the cable in here forever. If you keep the cable in the jack, it's gonna run the battery out. So dumb forgot to take the battery out of the case. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the battery from the other one in here, and then we're gonna go buy some batteries tomorrow. Okay, so let me take the battery out of the Homeboy here. We're gonna try to do this carefully because we don't wanna be messing up. I can't believe you see how I figured it out real quick. I'm like, hold on, something is up. I can't even hear that joint because it needs another battery. So take this one out here. Be careful. You don't want to mess that up. And because we're doing a pre-recorded here, I would probably do that. And we don't want to do that, so we're going to put them back over there. And we're going to plug this battery in. And you see the jack is out. And I'll remember next time to make sure that I take the cable out of the... And that's how you don't do any edits when you're doing videos. You just got what you got, okay? And there we go. Now we're talking. All right, so this bass is going to sound a little bit different. You may not hear it, but you'll hear it if you really just... I don't know how to do a comparison. Like, I'm not doing a comparison type thing, so I can't really compare, like stop and then do the edits and let you hear one bass hit the other one. But what I can say is, this is louder, and I took the battery out of that one. Let's see the difference when I push and pull the active and passive. So this is passive. So it's kind of the same, but this bass is louder. Can you hear it? It is louder than a thumb. And this has the same pickups. These are MEC active pickups, okay? And if I'm not mistaken, the active electronics are the same in this bass. Now we still have the same thing here. We got the chrome. We have the chrome bridge and the tailpiece that's holding the strings. On the back, this is a bolt on as well, Corvette Force. And you have your compartment, and this is Babinga wood. And the neck is what they call wingy wood. So everything is wingy. I think this top, I think the top is wingy too. I think the top is wingy and the back is Babinga. I think that's what it is. The top is wingy, So I mean, this right here, we got the brass frets. So we've got the brass frets. These frets are more brassy than those frets. And there's not a lot of fret wear on either one, so that's good too. And I forgot to say, you have a nut up here. If you guys are familiar with the nut, you can adjust the nut. You can take an Allen wrench and you can adjust the nut and bring your nut up and down. It's called adjust the nut, which is kind of cool. Nice, catchy. Just the nut. I mean, you can adjust the nut here as well as adjusting your action back here with your tailpiece. So that's it. So let's play a little bit of this, and then we're gonna call it a night. I can hear the difference right off, but let's go back to the middle here. That was the neck pickup. It sounds totally different from that neck pickup situation. But let me make sure I had it right. Let's do it again. All right, so this is in the middle. That's how I started, right? And they talk about how Warwick basses, you get that growl. It's all about that growl from the Warwick basses. So you would think it's fret buzz, but it's not fret buzz. It's actually the growl from the wood, from the babinga wood that you hear when you're doing it. So I'm gonna turn it down a little bit more. I see I'm running through my interface. Now the reason I didn't do any slapping on that bass is those strings are almost like they flat wounds. In fact, these got to be flat wounds because there's very little. You don't hear that on these. There's so very little. You can't really feel it. I can feel that on these, whatever you want to call that, the coils. I can feel it on here, but I don't feel it when I rub it. When I rub it, it's like they're like round wounds or flat wounds. Anyway. Okay, so I hear a difference right there myself automatically. And here we're going to turn all the bass up. And then we're going to take it in passive mode. So you hear the difference when you add the bass. But when you just have it on regular and everything is flat, and you do it up and down, like I hear more tone in the passive mode. See what I'm saying? So it's definitely different. I can definitely hear the tonality in the wood being totally different. This it's like lighter. You get a lighter growl with this, where with the Evercall wood, you get the deep, richness of the sound you're trying to get from the bass. You see what I'm saying? Now we're going to turn the bass all the way up like we did last time and pick the front pickup. See what I'm saying? Now we're going to go to the back and turn the treble up and the bass down. Now see, when we did the other bass, it sounded nothing like that. Now let's put it in passive. So it's definitely a totally different vibe. And I like that because, this kind of remind me of maybe this would be the precision bass. Yeah, really the precision bass is supposed to be the meteor bass when it comes to Fenders. The precision bass is the meteor bass. So this would kind of be the jazz bass, and that would be the precision bass. And that's how I would look at that. That's why I would always keep my jazz and my precision. They're made in Mexico. They're not American made, but they sound just as good if you ask me. I don't know much more they can change besides the pickups when it comes to Fender instruments made in Mexico and made in America and all that good stuff, because they're pretty much close most of the time, except the woods might be different. But both of my basses are 60th anniversary basses. Both of my Fender basses My jazz, my precision, made in Mexico's. Well, those two at least, and then my other one is just a regular made in Mexico bass. But this is made in Mexico, and they 60th anniversary, the precision and the jazz, and that's why I'll hold on to those. So I'll probably get rid of my 5-string jazz. I really don't want to because the only 5-string I have. In anticipation of maybe picking up another 5-string Warwick, and they have one at Guitar Center for like $1,300, and I'm not really ready to go that way right now. But I would have to get rid of that other 5-string over there before I can even start to talk about the other 5-string at Guitar Center. So I might just keep that 5-string. I got another 5-string by this company called Fullerton. That'd be hot too. So yeah. All right, so let's go all the way up, and let's do what we did last time. Treble down. Bass all the way up. We're just going to do the top pickup, and we're going to do the Motowns down. So you can definitely hear that vibe. And like I said, we did the back already with the treble all the way up and the bass down, right? You know what I'm saying? So I really like it. I really dig it. Okay. That's down. Now we got the active going on. So now we're going to do the back pickup. Way back. With no bass, just the treble. Now all bass, light on the no treble. Now add the treble in there. See how loud that is? And now add all the bass and everything in. That's crazy. And that's regular active mode. So I think that's why a lot of guys don't mind having the active bass, because sometimes they just don't want the electronics to have to deal with that. Because you got to do with the electronics, now you got to worry about setting it up with the electronics, and the bass and the what's called combination you might be have back here might not be cool than when you have it in passive. Like you put it in active, now you got something totally different to deal with. Now you got to get this back to where that is. But why do you want it to sound the same as the passive that you would in active? It don't make any sense. So you can have two setups. You can have it set up for the active when you're ready to go active, and passive when you go passive. So this will be passive, right? And then you go, okay, now I'm going to go active for the bridge. So what you do is just back the bass down, because the active, the EQ only works when we have the active in. Then you go back to regular passive. Active. So it just takes some adjusting, but like I said, you hear when I put in the active, it brightens up because of the EQ and because of where you have the pickup set. So it's really cool. So yeah, I was happy to have two Warwick basses, man. And now I got my drums Warwick. I can't ask for too much more. Like I said, I got rid of some guitars, so it's not like I'm hoarding a whole bunch of guitars. And now I have 3 guitars. How many guitars I have? Well, I got 3 guitars and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 basses. So I'm trying to sell this other bass. So if anybody looking for not a vintage modified, what do you call that? Classic vibe, 5-string jazz. Let me know. I'll sell it to you for $250. And let's say I got to keep the 3 guitars I have, because I need to actually get another guitar that's off, like a jazz guitar or something. One day, we'll see. And I'm looking to do like a one-man show with these 2 basses very soon. So I can't wait till I do that, so we can play around with the drum machine on the pedal and do our thing and play some bass stuff. All right, so that is it, man. I'm out, y'all. Thank y'all for sticking around, sounding like you know who. Sticking around, and yeah, That's it. That's what I got. 2 lovely basses by Warwick. This is the Corvette. And this, without the cover on it, is the thumb bass. How you doing? Take care, y'all. Talk to y'all soon. And be well. Take care of yourself. And yeah, I gotta find that kid. What I do with the thing? I'm out. I'm lost. I don't know what I do with it. I'm on the floor somewhere. Be careful, because I mess around and crack it. Anybody got a 9-volt battery I can hold? I'm out. Later, y'all. Drum time. I gotta set my drums up. Later.